If you are looking to acquire business funding, then boy, do I have a gem for you. In today's lesson, I'm gonna be giving you 3 banks that's gonna give you at least $150,000 in funding with little to no proof of income. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Little to no proof of income. I'm actually going to put these banks in a specific order because this is all coming from my experience of actually dealing with these actual lenders. So with that being said, with the actual order is going to kind of go from how my process went, when I actually applied, what I got approved, and also, and if they ever ask for any documentation as far as proof of income or anything like that. So I am going to be putting these in a specific order. So this is going to be a really good treat. And again, it's all coming from my experience. So hopefully I can help you out as well. So go ahead, go get your pen and paper. I promise you I'll wait right here. And without further ado, let's dive in. All right, ladies and gents. And before we get started, I just want to ask if you don't mind hitting that like button for me, as it helps my channel out a ton. I really appreciate all your support. I really want to help you and whoever else watched this video get massive amounts of business funding just like I did in the process. And hopefully it won't take you as long as I did if you listen to everything that I tell you. Now, enough of me rambling. Let's actually get back into these actual bank hacks. I want to give a big shout out to Cal Barton. He is a really big figure in this YouTube space when it comes to credit cards, business funding, things of that nature. I saw him come up with this topic. I don't know if he came up with the topic, but I ran across the video and I saw that he was talking about a few business credit cards that I actually had. So I wanted to put a little remix on it and give my experience of when and how I got approved so I can help you guys as well. And with that being said, I also added another bank to my list that he didn't talk about as well. But if you want to check out his video, I'll put the link in the description. Shout out to Cal Barton. But let's get into step 1. Now, the first bank and credit card that I have on this list is the Chase Business Unlimited credit card. Now, I'm going to give you all of my data points and what to expect from them. Please understand that Chase is known to give out massive amounts of fundings, but you have to have your profiles and documents in order. And no, I'm not referring to proof of income or anything like that. I'm talking about everything on the foundational level, ladies and gents. The reason why that I put Chase first on this list is because I actually applied for them first. Why? Because they have a lot of tricks and trades that you have to actually look out for, with number 1 being the 524 rule. And with the 524 rule, they have it to where they don't want you to actually applied for 5 or approved for 5 credit cards in the last 24 months. It doesn't matter if you have an 800 across the board, perfect, you save babies from a burning building, they will still deny you if you are past that 524 rule, all right? So I wanted to get them out of the way before I actually attacked any other credit bureaus. Now, even though business credit cards don't actually appear on your personal credit, I just didn't want to chance anything, all right? You never know with these institutions. There's not too much you can do. Play within the rules. So that's why I went after them first. Now, when I was actually applying for them and actually trying to access their credit products, the funny thing about it, disclaimer, they never asked for my business credit information. I spent months getting net 30s, net 15, things of that nature to build up my business credit report. And I was kind of shocked that they never actually asked me for my business credit information. I physically went into a branch to actually apply because I wanted to see everything up front. And when I sat down with that business manager, he only asked for my personal credit report and he looked at my banking history. I literally asked him, do you want to see my payday score, things of that nature? He literally looked at me and said, no, I don't want to see it at all. I mean, we'll take it into consideration, but it's not necessary. Everything is all about your personal credit here. So that goes to show you, ladies and gents, you have to have your personal credit in place to get a massive amount of funding, all right? Please understand that foundation has to be strong, aka your personal credit. Now, data points. At that time, I had a 719, a 708, and a 721 with 13% utilization. I wish I had it under 10%, but 13% is okay. And I had no serious derogatories on my credit file. That means no charge-offs, collections, late payments, none of that. It was a clean file. It's still clean. This was the first time that I was actually applying for business funding, believe it or not. So I wanted to make sure everything was in tip-top place. Now, when the business manager actually ran everything through, all of my credit scores, things of that nature, I was approved and awarded with $30,000 starting out. That means I had a credit limit of $30,000 for the Business Chase Unlimited. That was first. But even that, after 90 days, I requested a credit limit increase, which came to a whopping $60,000. You should have saw my face when I saw that. I was really stunned. And again, they didn't require any additional documents when it came to having the $30,000 limit and the $60,000 limit. They didn't ask for anything. The only thing I had to do was fill everything out as far as the actual application themselves, and they just went off of word of mouth. Hey, how much do you make personally? And then on top of that, they went for my gross annual business income after that. And understand this, it is 0% interest for the first 12 months. And they did pull 2 bureaus. They did pull my Experian and they pulled my Equifax. And again, just to let you know, it does not report to my personal credit and it will not report to yours either. So please understand this before I keep going. You need to get your personal credit in shape. I know some people out there that tell you, hey, as long as you have a 700 credit score, but you have a collection on your account or a late payment or whatever that's 2, 3, 4, 5 years old or whatever, you're fine. You're still gonna get approved, blah, 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 blah. Understand this, ladies and gents. You're not gonna get approved. Even if you do get approved, it's not gonna be what you want in this process. Like I say all the time, the main people that hold on to the past are these risky lenders and these data furnishers. They hold on to the past more than anybody. So again, you're not going to get what you want or you're going to get denied. Again, can you get funding? Possibly. Do you know somebody that got funding under these circumstances? Possibly, but let's not get the banks to make an example out of you by denying you because you have negatives from years in the past. Getting approved for $3,000 is not what you're looking for on the business side. I know you need tens of thousands of dollars or even 5. You don't want to have to call the reconsideration line and get $2,000. So please take care of the foundation, aka your personal credit, and remove these negatives. The next one that we have on the list is the GM Marcus by Goldman Sachs Business Credit Card. This was actually my second card that I applied for. My data points at this time was a 717, a 700, and a 716 with a 4% utilization. No derogatory. And also, quick credit tip, I made sure that I had at least 2 personal credit cards with limits over $10,000, thus helping my chances to get higher limits on the business side. Why? Is because a lot of times with these business ventures, they like to mirror certain credit limits that you already have. So if you have a $1,000 credit limit or whatever for any type of credit card, you can't always expect that you're going to get $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on the business side, because they want to see that you can actually handle any type of debt and you can actually be responsible with it. So please understand, it's not about your scores, it's about what you have up under the hood. At least have one $10,000 credit, at least a $3,500 credit limit. So something of that nature, all right? So please understand that. Now, GM does provide you a pre-approval upon accepting the actual offer itself. So this became a soft pull for me because I froze TransUnion, which they pulled from before I accepted the offer. So I never received that inquiry, all right? And at that time, I was approved for a massive $39,000 credit limit, which was bonkers. Now, I do believe it was because of my credit report, but my theory is they saw the approval that I got from Chase and they actually matched it. I actually have no concrete evidence to support this, but this is just my Delulu theory, right? I don't know. That was really just my theory. They saw that, so they were like, okay, we're gonna approve him for X amount of dollars. Now, there was no proof of income, or I didn't even sign up for a bank account. I just literally went for their actual business credit card. They only asked me for my projecting income, my gross income, what do they expect I make over the year, and of course my income on the personal side, and proof of identity, and I think that was it. It was a very generic application at the time. So right now we're talking about $30,000, or if you want to use the credit limit increase, $60,000, and then also Markets by Goldman Sachs, $39,000 as well on the business side. Next credit tip. Also, please make sure that your entities are set up correctly. This is extremely important. No need to get an age corporation or anything like that. If you have a new LLC, you can still get massive amounts of business funding. The people that tell you, oh, you need an age corp, at least 2 years old or anything like that, they're trying to sell you an age corporation. And they're just gonna sell you one that was dissolved years ago. You don't know what's on it, why it dissolved, things of that nature, but you think that you're gonna get massive amounts of money. You could, I'm not saying you can't, but if you have a new LLC, you're fine. You do not have to buy an age corporation. As long as your entity is set up right, your LLC in your state, wherever it is, things of that nature, you are going to be fine and you are going to get the actual funding that you need, all right? Now, my LLC is structured through my state. I have a generic name for my business. Even though my YouTube name is How To Credit, I refuse to put any type of credit or any type of red flag in my business name. Lenders pay very close attention to this. You can't walk into a bank and say you are art business and your business name is I Fix Credit and Flip Houses, word to my mother LLC. You can't do that. You can't do that. So you will be denied. It doesn't make any sense. Now, do people change their ideas when they have businesses? Yes, but that's just an example. Please don't do that. Have a very generic name. It's okay. Lose your ego. Have a very generic name. It's going to work out for you in the future. I promise. And also, my NAICS code is 611000, which pertains to education. At a basic level, you have to make sure that you have a nice generic name, again, and have a non-high risk NAICS code. And if you need to know anything more about NAICS codes, check out my video where I actually go into full detail and breakdown of NAICS codes that you can actually utilize for your actual business itself, so it will not be high risk, even if you're in a high risk industry. I've had the GM card for quite a while now, but I have not actually requested for a credit limit increase. The reason why is because when I called them, the rep told me that it's actual hard pull for a credit limit increase. So I actually left it alone. But I haven't checked that in a while. And if it's changed, please let me know in the comment section. Let me know, yo, how should they change that as a soft pull, anything of that nature? Please let me know because I have not checked it since I got that card a while back. All right, now we're going to get to the last lender, which is TD Bank, where they have the TD Business Solutions credit card. At the making of this video, they only have one business credit card, which is actually this card. Now, I am applying for this credit card this week. I actually spoke to 2 reps and they pretty much gave me the same information regarding this card. Now, as of right now, my data points right now are I have a 769, a 808, and a 777. I have a 0% utilization, and again, no derogatories. Stay away from those things. But again, that does not mean I'm going to get approved for massive amounts of business funding due to my scores. I'm making sure that my credit profile is excellent. With that being said, I already have 3 personal credit cards, credit limits over $20,000, and I have my Chase Business Unlimited that has reported to my business credit just in case if they do pull my Experian business or anything like that, and they want to see a $60,000 limit, they'll see that. It's all trying to be set up correctly. One of the reps did state that this card has no limits. I don't know if that's 100% true. You gotta fact check me, but they did state that it's all on what the business is actually producing and bringing in as far as revenue and making sure that the cash flow is accruing. And in this next step, she did say this without saying it. I had to read between the lines. But she did state that it can range from anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 with no proof of income depending on your business. But after that, they do require a little more proof of income or things of that nature. Possibly they're going to ask for a profit and loss statement or something of that nature. You couldn't tell me which actual credit bureau they actually pulled from, but when I find out, I'll definitely let you know. And of course, I'm aiming for that $50,000 to $70,000 right off the gate. Try to get little to no proof of income. But I also want to say this: stop being afraid of actual lenders asking for proof of income. It's not that big of a deal. You could still do it as long as all your paperwork is in order. My paperwork is in order, so if they ask for anything, I can actually produce it. So overall, alone, you can get $150,000 or more if you follow the steps that I actually utilize to get massive amounts of business funding. You probably could get awarded way more than what I got. I really hope you do, actually. And I hope it doesn't take you as long to actually get approved if you follow all these steps in the midst of me actually applying for everything that I applied for. As long as your personal credit is in great standing, you cannot lose. I promise you. Your profile is really going to take you places. And as long as it's strong, you will be good. And again, I want to plug myself in. If you ever have any issues with your actual credit itself, I have the How to Credit Restoration Program, where I'm helping people remove negatives from their credit report and get massive amounts of business funding in this as well. I'm helping all my subscribers and clients actually get awarded. And if you want to get started, you can start with a free consultation with me. Just go ahead and click the link in my bio and you can get started again. Phone call, 15-minute free. I'm telling you. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Have you utilized any of these banks? Are you going to utilize them in the future? Let me know in the comment section. But I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Now go get that massive amount of business funding, all right? And until next time, ladies and gents.